Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us. You look so perfect back there in your little wilderness, and I'm like trapped in the office here.
Well, I'm loving just hanging out in my 3-season room, and I overlook the backyard and I see all green because we have an acre and a half of property, and just staying celebratory for you and a happy 14th anniversary. And I'm wearing white.
I like it.
Party.
Thank you. So for everybody just tuning in, of course, I'm Dr. Jordan Leasure, the owner and physician of North Shore Proactive Health. We are in our stress management boot camp today, celebrating Friday. We all survived another week of quarantine.
I'm so excited. It's sunshine too.
You know, it was, and I think we all needed it. So I'm going to let my good friend Nicole Martin with HR Boost and a variety of other fabulous endeavors go ahead and introduce herself, and we'll just chat and catch up a little bit here.
Oh, thanks, Jordan. Well, happy Friday, everybody. I'm Nicole Martin, and I'm the founder of HR Boost, and I'm a country girl in disguise, missing Montana, where I grew up, and just thrilled that the sunshine came out today. And I'm so excited to join Jordan for this because I'm a mompreneur with, a team of 16. And so I'm juggling work and play, and not enough play since we've been locked in the house. But I got a new terminology just yesterday we have a marketplace chaplains program for our employees. And it said, you may be an introvert, you may be an extrovert. And I'm an extrovert. My husband, he's an introvert. And the new terminology that the chaplain gave us, Sherry's her name, beautiful email, first thing in the morning on the cloudy, rainy days that we've had. She said, consider being a contentrovert. The contentrovert is content and takes it day by day and just wakes up and goes in through the rhythm and tries to be content because we're healthy, right, Jordan? We're breathing air. Yeah. We're sleeping in bed at night. We're safe in our homes. And so that's a lot to be grateful for because it could always be worse. And so trying to take contentment with what you have, I guess. And so every time I think about it, I go, I'm going to be a contentrovert.
Doesn't that make you, like, when you say content, it makes me take a deep breath, and it doesn't matter, but when you say content, you're like, I am. And I don't think that we talked a little bit about mindfulness yesterday with my girlfriend, Erin. And I think that we all, like you said, be content, be mindful day by day, minute by minute for some of us.
Yeah. Well, you have to come micro, I think, because if you get too macro, you can overwhelm yourself with the fact that we're going to be in lockdown for another month. And so it's good to just take it in bite-sized pieces. And it's nice when the sun comes out and can distract you with warmth. And of course, get your vitamin D because we know it's good for you, right?
Mm-hmm. Spot on.
So it's going to be the warmest weekend in 32 weeks, according to Tom Skilling on WGN News yesterday. And so looking forward to a warm weekend. And I guess we'll cool down a little bit, but it's going to be nice for us this weekend. We can get outside maybe a little bit.
I saw that, like 75 tomorrow. I'm very excited. We're going out today. It doesn't matter. There's no bad weather. There's just bad clothing.
Well, and I'm like rebelling. You see this sleeveless top?
I see that. I know. I've got like my full on like sweater on.
It's breezy. It's been the wind, but I think because I'm inside right now, my home, I can get away with the sleeveless. But yeah, I'd have to put on a sweater later today too when I venture out.
Yeah. It's not bad. It's not bad out. I walked down the street to get breakfast at Town Square this morning, so it's not.
Oh, way to support downtown Libertyville! Yay!
I had my I had my Town Square cup. Where did it go? Are you ready?
We love Townie. Oh, yay! A shout out for Townie.
Yep. And I don't even know what this is. This is from Jan's office. This is an appraisal company, so I got everybody today.
That's awesome, though. You got to feel the love from all directions, because when you get the shout outs and people comment right now, and then you have the mugs of the people and the businesses that you support nearby, you're feeling the love and the presence of them in your heart, even if they're not in the same room.
I did. I saw that somewhere. It was awesome. There's been lots of, and obviously for those of you that don't know, Nicole is also a fellow Libertyville resident as well. And I saw something, there's lots going on to support the restaurants. And again, I love the hospitality community we have. Some of the business owners are my best friends, but there are a lot of us that are not in the hospitality industry that are still small business owners and still trying to make a go of it. So I saw a good post that said something to the effect of, if you can't shop, or you can't get your hair cut, or you can't, if you're not in the position personally to be spending money right now, share a post. It's free, promote one of your friends, and then it'll come back.
Yeah, good karma.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But, eating out or getting food every now and then from the restaurants nearby hopefully keeps them going.
Right.
and then gives
Yeah.
you a night off in your home. And I don't know, Cinco de Mayo's next week. You could have a fiesta. You could get some Mexican food nearby. You
I
could,
like that. I like
yeah,
that plan.
celebrate and get in a celebratory mood and do carpet picnics. You could do carpet picnics if it's cold and windy, or go in your backyard and have a picnic. And even with my boosters this morning, when we did our team meeting, one of them wanted to gift one of the other boosters a glam tent in the backyard where she could have like the spa delivery, like, you know, Alora's doing do-it-yourself color kits and
Yeah.
things like that in town. And, you know, sit in your backyard and have a glam tent and just escape from the noise in your house if you have kids in your house. And
That is genius.
yeah. And now that it's going to be 75 this weekend, why not?
That might be happening at my house.
For sure. So picnic party, maybe.
Yeah, I like
I
that.
think it's
I like
kind of
that.
fun. And the kids can have little pick plates if you have children. Then they can run in the grass, and hopefully it's not muddy.
I
I'm going to pray that
know.
the warmth dries all that wetness by tomorrow morning. Fingers crossed. And the golfers are probably praying for that too, because the golf courses are now open.
I know, right? Well, so tell everybody and tell me, because you and I haven't caught up in a while.
Yeah.
Tell me about your latest book, your latest endeavor, how you got here, what's going on with that, how people can implement some of those tips and tricks while they are home right now.
Which one? You mean the No Fear Negotiation for Women, or?
Yeah, well, that, some of your motivational speaking, some of your wellness hints.
Yeah. Well, I think the one that's most relevant right now is probably The Power of Joy and Purpose, right? So that's my more personal book.
Yeah.
And to me, that's presence principles. And I can sum it up quickly. It's one quote I read when I was 10 years old in a Reader's Digest. If any of you guys remember Reader's Digest, my mother used to keep those in the bathroom. And I read this quote 10 years old, and it said, presence is more important than being present. And I, to this day, all these decades later, remember the quote, and I live by it. And it's my, how you should try and get something that you say to yourself that can calm you when you're feeling anxious.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's a lot of anxiety right now, but when you can just say it to yourself and you can think it silently, and it brings you back to a place of, just peace. Even if it's really distracting or loud, or children are screaming around you, or the news is in the background, which is constant trauma, or just anything, centering yourself and just saying, I do anyway. Presence is more important than being present, which brings your mind to your heart, to your physical being, basically the three of those things basically coming together in this moment, so that you can just be present with yourself. Because sometimes we get so auto driven in our mind that we actually get caught up in our mind and forget our physical being, which you understand completely.
Right.
You understand that completely, because people can sit at their desks for 8 hours and pound at work and forget to get up and drink water and move.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, and we're all victim to that, who are working from home right now, even in non-essential businesses, but working from home virtually. And, there's nothing else to do. You can't get around your house, or you're quarantining in one room because you have children in the other room,
And the students, I think that all of us, we forget about the students. You're not used to having to be stuck in front of a computer, learning. And again, technology has changed the learning landscape since you and I were full-time students. But still, they still get up. There's still that social interaction. You're still moving classroom to classroom. You get bathroom breaks.
Right.
Or you make bathroom breaks. But yeah, if you're at home and you're stuck in front of a computer, your ergonomics are horrible. Your emotional well-being is down the tubes. Yeah.
Well, we had this little break time thing this morning with my team, and the woman that spoke to my team was just reminding how you can actually schedule your breaks in your calendar.
Mm-hmm.
She recommended mini breaks, which would be like 1 to 5 minutes, moderate breaks, every 30 minutes, get up and move or stretch.
Yes.
And we say it, but I'm guilty of it too. I mean, I can pound out 4 hours of work and not even notice 4 hours went by. Right. And so the good thing about having the kids around, I think, is it brings your feeling of presence to the forefront, because they'll let you know they're there. So it's a gift to have people around you in your house right now. I feel a great sense of empathy for people who don't have people in their homes. They're more isolated than some of us who have kids, even though those of us with kids would be like, oh, wouldn't it be nice if the kids just were here right now? But you got to think about those people who don't have anybody to kind of take them out of their funk. And so, and my son's in 5th grade. I have, the 11-year-olds and the 3-year-old. And so my older son, he's done with school by 10 a.m. sometimes 11 a.m. But then I've been integrating with him on, he was in fitness club. And so his fitness teacher was sending, curriculum that he could do. and encourages physical activity. And I'm sort of like not going to the gym. I miss my gym. I need my gym. I have lower back issues. You know that, Jordan. And so constantly I'm going, okay, what did your teacher say that we had to do today? And I do it with my son.
That's
Because then
awesome.
it's more of the togetherness. It gets him excited because I'm here, we're there together. And then I actually get more energy out of that. And it makes me feel a little bit more vibrant to go back to whatever it was that I was doing. And so taking those kind of built-in breaks is good. And giving yourself permission to not just sit there and pound out work when you're not feeling it. And maybe you could, since you are virtual, ideally, maybe you could align your work to your peak performance hours, whatever hour that is. And give yourself permission to get up and walk around. But I think you have to do that one mantra that I believe in, which is presence is more important than being present, and feel it first, because sometimes people forget to connect their mind to how they're feeling.
Right.
And you got to really feel how you're feeling and honor it. And then do whatever you need in that moment to make that feeling be present fully with you and honor it. Like if you're sitting here and you're in back pain, but you're ignoring it, get up, move, go do something else, stretch, whatever's needed. But if you're really focused right now, you're feeling like your mind and your physical being are doing okay and you're pounding out work, then conquer it and then get up and go away, from it.
Right.
And, but I think a lot of people are really anxious right now just due to the uncertainty, especially parents that both parents are in the house and the children are young and you have to keep them focused and quiet. Good luck.
Yeah.
And it was not fun in these last few weeks when it's been cloudy and cold and rainy. But I think it's going to get really better in the coming 30 days where people can really get out and spring their legs a little bit and maybe ride a bike or go for a walk or any of those things. And I think that's going to be a release for the children as well, because they're just as cooped up as we are.
It's horrible. And I think it's worse because they don't know how to, not only do they not know how to process what's going on, because depending on the age, they don't understand. My biggest stressor right now is Parker's social health. So he was in preschool, but obviously the academics are irrelevant. It was really about the social interactions. And that's what has me concerned. And then so that was my reality. And then my girlfriend has a son who is, maybe he's 4, and his reality was this is only happening to him. So why does he have to stay home? He doesn't see, the entire picture. And so his mom's trying to explain to a 4-year-old, no, sweetie, everybody's home.
Right.
And he doesn't understand, why he can't see his friends and all of this stuff. So again, there's like new challenges depending on the age group, and then we're all trying to process it, or it doesn't make sense to us, so we're all trying to process it and be able to relay. And I find that that's very, very stressful for a lot of our clients.
Well, and I think that, so with my younger son, he's 3, he's gonna be 4 next week, and I think he's in preschool too, but his preschool does Zoom meetings where he used to go have his preschool times, and all his classmates are on the screen and they're doing show and tell and they're singing and they're doing different things. And so he'll wake up every morning because he has no structure to the days anymore. And every morning he's like, Mommy, am I going to school today? And I'm like, no, it's not your Zoom day. And so then he's transplanted that he has other school because I gave him ABC Mouse. So then he does ABC Mouse. And that's, giving him some, finger dexterity on the mouse and just working with different things in there, and they get rewarded and do different things. And, they have each other, the children in my house, but so they play. But I think, my son hasn't really, he doesn't internalize what's happening. My older son's totally fine with it. He wants to be homeschooled forever now. It seems like he has a better efficiency in his day. And I'm the only social butterfly in my house that's sort of like, oh my gosh, I need to go butterfly and flitter. When are we going to be able to go feel free? And so if I think about that too much, you can feel your heart rate start to go. Mm-hmm. So I really think it's so important. And there's a lot of things that I think a lot of people are dealing with grief in so many different ways. And grief is really hard. And I think if you're thinking about if you're feeling the grief and you're in a reactive state still, it's really important to do something self-preserving to bring yourself out of that reactive mode and keep yourself centered. And for some people, it's their faith. For some people, it's just a quote like what I throw out. Whatever it is that does that for you, make it regular. Find a place to really schedule that in throughout your day, because I think we all need something to ground us and keep us in a place of gratitude and basics. Back to basics is like, we can get really caught up and feel a roller coaster of emotions through all the things that are happening right now. I think if you don't just say, I'm breathing today, and I'm well and I'm healthy and I'm safe. And, you're missing people you love. You're losing people you love and you can't grieve the right way. Joyful things are happening, like people having newborn babies and not being able to go and see them. And there's so many, I think everybody's grieving whether you're sick or not. And I think we're all in it together. That's the pun, the hashtag. But I think really your vibration of how you're feeling is something you can control. If you really talk to yourself and bring yourself to a place of presence.
Yeah. You don't say.
Yeah. I just think we sometimes think we lost control, but really we can control. It's that A plus B equals C. We can't control what happens to us ever, really, to be quite honest. And if you think you can, well, you're going to be sadly mistaken, right? But you can always choose how you're going to let it affect you or how you respond to it. You always control that. You have total control over how you choose to let it affect you and how you choose to respond to it.
Yeah. And that's what we've done. I don't know what you guys have seen. I mean, I'm going to assume that you guys have either maintained your status or even been busier, because I'm sure that there are a ton of questions. I've been sharing all the information that you sent because, the majority of my connections are small business owners. And for us, there was question about whether or not as a brick and mortar, we were going to be able to remain open. And chiropractors were considered necessary medical. So we've been open the whole time. I was going to actually run numbers since it is, a new month and see what we ended at as far as, being down
Visit
a patient volume. Yeah. But Jade and I really took a step back and said, well, what are we going to do with this time? Right. And Jade switched over. We are dissatisfied with our software provider. And that's a huge undertaking because we have to
never have time to do.
Yeah, no, you never have time to do. So you have to export all that. There's so much that has to be done. Yeah. And Jade and I were like, you know what, if we're going to do it, now's the time to do it. So let's just leap. And we did it. And I think that that's helped us. I wouldn't want to say see the positive in the situation, but like you said, you react, you set your intention and you react the most meaningful way for you. And I think that has served us very well. We're very excited. We've been doing, like you said, virtual team meetings. Yeah. The staff has great ideas on, what we're going to do when people come back full time.
I think that's great.
It's good. Yeah. It's a good use of time.
There's so many people who are doing the proactive thing and investing in their talent development and teaching tools and things like that, because so many didn't have the time to do that before. And a lot of people in business need to do that. And we don't take the time to do it always. And I think that that's a real rich opportunity. And especially if you got your PPP loans, your payroll protection loans, and you have to maximize your dollars right now, maybe your business hasn't opened or come back yet, then you're going to want to be bringing people back and coming up with some of those proactive projects. I developed just a shared sheet the minute I got my PPP loan, which I just got yesterday, honestly, after applying even on April 3rd. It's
good work.
Yeah, amazing. It comes and then you sit there and realize you have 8 weeks to send a 10.5-week budget. And what is the possibility of that if you're somewhat on pause? Some of your clients are on pause or they're coming, which almost everybody's affected. So I just developed a Google sheet essentially, and I listed all the projects that I thought of that could be happened. And I just shared it with the team and said, okay, everybody volunteer and take a project, right? Because we can get ahead of it. We absolutely, if you put that mindset that this isn't forever, that we can get ahead of it, that you actually can think of something positive that you normally wouldn't want to do. And if you can find the silver linings, there's so many silver linings to this. Just the humanity, witnessing the humanity of people. I don't even watch sports, for example. So I'm somebody who doesn't watch ESPN for fun. And my husband was watching the draft last week, right? He's totally into this draft and they're doing it virtually for the first time ever, which is pretty groundbreaking. There's so many things we're witnessing right now in history that we're witnessing for the first time. The pace of the vaccine, the virtual drafting of the NFL, just whatever bucket you're in, there's something happening that's kind of groundbreaking. And so I just loved the fact that I could watch, I was sitting on the sofa with him and I'm looking in like coaches' houses and you're looking in their intimate homes. You're in my 3-season room right now, right?
Right.
And suddenly you're in everybody's home in a much more intimate way and you feel any kind of question of authenticity, it's gone now. I mean, people have literally let down the persona shades, right? Some people still use backdrops for fun and everything, but the people that let you into their house and you're seeing things that are like mind blowing and really intimate at the word go globally.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a call yesterday with somebody in Israel and it was like, I was looking in his backyard. We had a moment of looking at the vineyards. I mean, it's fantastic. So that to me is like the humanity and care of people that is more visible after we've been so divisive for quite some time now. So to me, that's a huge gift of all of this, that it actually forced that, or that office has been a verb for a lot of clients and people, especially millennials, you know, they'll come up and they'll say office is a verb and they can office anywhere. It's not, did I work today or did I show up today? It's what I get done. And if I got my work done, then I can work anywhere. And I think a good percentage of the population is like that. Maybe if upwards of 50% of the talent pool works that way right now, but businesses still weren't changing. A lot of businesses that were bigger weren't changing. And this has forced them to change now, which is amazing. And there's no going back. Once you give.
Oh yeah, I think it's gonna completely pivot. I mean, I see like the loop being empty now.
Yeah.
In the future,
amazing.
you know what I'm saying? Like you don't need to spend that kind of money on real estate if 80% of your talent pool can be working anywhere.
It's completely enabled workforce. And so I think obviously that's not the same for the restaurant hospitality side, the events businesses, they've been hit really hard. And I, you know, feel very bad about what's going on within their revenue streams, but there's so many other businesses that have really learned how to be virtual now, or to serve people virtually, or they dialed up finally their e-commerce business or their social media presence that they hadn't had time to do. And now they do it so that they can serve people. So there's so many silver linings in it that will propel business, that will take businesses forward and bring us all, you know, I talk about the generational agility and just the generational demographics and how people do things differently. It's bringing us closer together now in terms of relating to one another. And we really needed that.
I think those other industries that you mentioned, whether it's hospitality or entertainment, are going to see a huge boost after, because I think that we had lost some of that because of being virtual. So because of Facebook, you know, like your friends and you talk, like you and I mean, we haven't seen each other in person, I think, since I was in the city. So we haven't seen each other in like a year, but we still kind of feel connected. Okay. To me, from a societal health and wellness standpoint, there's no replacing, you know, the
human
in-person interaction,
that's
and
always going to be
hugging somebody. So I think that as we have been in this quarantine, technology has stepped up. I mean, you know, you and I are doing this, we're live on, you know, multiple platforms and everything, and that's awesome. But at the same time, we're realizing how much we really miss each other.
Yeah, and so it's gratitude. It builds gratitude for things that people took for granted, actually. And what's crazy is a people person like me, I actually am afraid, like, they free us up again, I could just hug everybody.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and I agree with you. People are going to be out and about because they've been cooped up. It's going to, and people will probably, at least people, maybe younger people, they're not going to have the level of fear that people that are high risk will have. And I just think we need to continue to protect the people that are high risk. Obviously, this isn't going away anytime soon. But I think we have to let business owners find ways to continue to thrive. I think the economy at this point is a big concern. And I was worried in beginning of March, even because we were doing furloughs and layoffs behind the scenes and prepping as businesses were already getting word that the state shut down. And so I was even more worried about people's jobs than people being sick, even in the middle of March. And I just think there's so many other ripple effects that you really do come to gratitude of just knowing, gosh, what I give to have coffee meeting with somebody right now, or what I give to go like sit on a patio with somebody right now, or take a walk with somebody, or hug somebody, or just anything. But it's creating new traditions too, which is kind of fun. You know, like just even over the holiday, we did like doorbell ding dong drive ditches, you know, where like you take a gift and you take a present to somebody you're thinking of, you leave it on their porch, you're not going to touch them, but you're going to ring their doorbell and then run back to your car and wave, you know, and it actually raises your vibration. You get excited. It like you're giddy almost like a child. And I think that was so fun that even if we get free again, I'll probably do that more often than not. It was so fun to surprise somebody like that. So you'll find new traditions, I think, that are pretty unique. And we're doing a time capsule. So like Joseph, my younger, his preschool teacher sent that home like early in the in March when they kind of came home from school and said, you're living through history. You should really create a time capsule. And it was the questionnaires for the children. I've seen handprint frames where all the people in the house who have children are doing handprint frames like this and then frame it at the beginning and the end of when this goes away. Could be 2 years, like the Spanish flu, who knows? But it's like things that we really being present with what you're living through.
Right.
This is history. We have effectively become a chapter in a history book that our grandchildren will read about, whether we realize that or not. Like, this is a big time. We thought it was big before the pandemic, historical changes. Now we're really a chapter in the history book, right? What we're living through. And so think about that. And so even if you put like a time capsule together and you put different things in it, the news clips, things were said, even just listening to people in news and what they say 1 week to the next, it changes so much. It's hysterical if you put it in a time capsule and look at it 20 years from now. You might be able to laugh about it then, but you could laugh about it now if you got
I try not to. So I block out all of it.
Archiving it is not a bad idea. Even how you're feeling, like what you're doing, how you play with, your children or just anything.
Yeah. I'm in the grief stage of denial. I'm pretending it's not happening.
You know what helped me through that? I had a really unique experience because we went on spring break and a lot of people didn't. Yeah. My husband just literally, I was working nonstop supporting CEOs. There was a lot going on. So I was working nonstop and getting even digital things from people out of state. And so I was very much absorbing the sad things we do in HR. And it was that Friday that Pritzker shut down the state, and I got a preview of it from my Vistage community, just word travels within the CEO groups. And so we got kind of a heads up, but you don't believe that's true. And then it happened. And the first thing I saw were those Hummers coming into the state on the trains, from the National Guard, but there was no communication going on about that yet. And I remember I went into straight, like, what's going on? I panicked, right? My husband still makes fun of me to this day. Like, he's so funny. He's literally, oh, the state's coming. Oh my gosh, shut the doors. They're locking us in. They're not going to let us out of our yards. Like, he's like, honey, calm down. Right. Yeah. And some people really feel that. And he literally called the airline. Our plane was still booked. The tollways were still open. We were on a private beach in Florida. It was going to be open. Our resort confirmed. And he said, pack your bags. We're leaving. And I was like, what? And he's like, do you consider yourself a high risk person right now? I'm like, no. He's like, we're leaving. And he took me down there. And I never, ever would have done that, Jordan. Never. If it was just me and the kids or something, I never would have the cojones to do that. No way. But my husband's sort of like, it's a free country. The road is open. The planes are working. We have a trip. It's confirmed. I'm not dropping that. We're going. And you know what? I thank him every day, Jordan, because we went down there. We had an amazing 7 days. I should have never come home. I was like in heaven. My kids were the only ones at that private beach. Private beaches were still open because they're private property, and the pool still open. My kids will never forget that vacation. And it taught them something really strong, which is freedom is still alive in America. A lot of people think that we're losing that, but we still have freedom, and we still can choose how we respond, and we can still choose to walk out the door and go for a walk. And sometimes people just get afraid, and that fear and hysteria can take you really to a different place.
Right. Well, that's a lot of it. I think that we all need to be making educated decisions and not making decisions from a place of fear, because it is definitely going to have a very different result.
Yeah, definitely. And it's about your health, right, Jordan? You know better than anybody. I think whatever you need to do to make yourself at least laugh 4 times a day. Gotta find laughter is really key, I think. Moments of breathing, deep breathing, moving. I just think you have to do all those things right now. And what's sad is that because we get so on auto, everybody's guilty of auto. I think you got to find a way to check yourself.
Yeah, that's been some of my recommendations in these videos, is being deliberate and whatever that means to you, but being deliberate in your actions towards improved health. So if you have to say to yourself, like, this was my coffee for the day, so now I'm going to get back on my water. And that's what I do. And then I have to remind myself, because a lot of us, you get on auto and you're working for 4 hours. You've had no water in 4 hours.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
From a medical standpoint, from your view, I think it's really detrimental. It can really harm your body even, right? And your mental aptitude and just cognitive awareness at that moment.
Yeah.
I had someone tell me this morning on my own team that they were getting more migraines, and so it's like, this is affecting people. If it's not physically affecting them yet, it will.
Right.
And so giving yourself permission to say that's okay, but what can I do to change that? And there's so much gratitude too, in just being able to look at the blessing, like trying to find the blessing there's blessings in everything.
Yeah.
And if you can't come back, if you have to just get to the fact that I'm breathing today, then do it. But if you can get to a deeper place of just, how could I use this time to be more proactive? Like what you did with a project with my business to propel it, or retreating in a way like you've never retreated, and doing things in your home and just shutting down the computer and the phone because it can wait until next week.
Because you do, as a business owner, like, what's your drop dead? When do you stop?
I've worked more now that I'm at home, sadly. So I used to have much more structure and high compartmentalization when it wasn't blurry. Now it's blurry. So I've given myself permission to honor how I'm feeling.
Okay.
And so I do have peak performance times, and I just pound out work at those times. But then if I really, find that it's nice out, like today, and I don't have like booked calls or booked things like that where I'm face to face, I've even stopped booking Zooms. I'm just booking phone calls and taking them in the car and on the go with the sunroof open. I mean, honestly, I'm zoomed out and I'm a people person. So it's amazing how free you feel just talking on the phone with the breeze going through your hair without a camera. Oh my gosh. So I think just giving yourself permission to just do whatever you need.
Yeah.
And I've done it by just, getting in the car, going for a drive, I've shut down, and I've even taken my kids for a bike ride on my birthday, for example. I was booked, and I ended up I was productive in the morning. And by 12 o'clock, I was like, I am not doing this anymore. It's a gorgeous day. And I'm so glad I did, because then it was cloudy for 10 days, right? But right? So seize the moment. I think that's it too. Seize the moment.
Yeah.
If it's nice, get out, get some flowers. We can't plant just yet. I'm like all eager to go to the greenhouse because they opened it, right? But
I know.
if we plant flowers before Mother's Day, it's money down the toilet. So I'm just sort of like, I'm going to at least go buy the flats and put them in my garage and start watering them.
Yeah. I like that.
Just anything to just seize the moment to bring your spirit up. I think that's incredible. And if it's truly the people who are alone, who don't have kids to like shake their vibration, I think kids are a gift. They just shake your vibration. It's like, snap out of it, mom. They're flipping themselves over the sofa, and you're just praying they don't break their heads. That's what happens at my house. Yeah. Football, basketballs, all kinds of things in the house. But I think people that don't have that gift, maybe they've raised their children already and they miss their grandkids, or right. The grandparents can go drop off little ding dong doorbell dishes for the grandkids, right? They can bring their energy up that way and make a surprise out of it. Create the games, scavenger hunts. Remember we used to do scavenger hunts?
I like that. Yeah.
When's the last time you did a scavenger hunt with somebody that you cared about? Like you could totally arrange something that people have to who can get their list filled to first, which means people have to get up and get out and move, right? It could be crazy things that are found in backyards. Stick, go find a bug, go find a bird, find a weed, pick a dandelion. You could come up with some fun.
I think we're onto something here.
Yeah, you could come up
copyrighted.
You could come up with some ingenious things. I mean, on my Facebook feed, I'm amazed by one of the mom's kids in town. Her son's drawing beautiful chalk art in his driveway every day. And I showed it to my son because I'm like, check this out. This is like the Art Institute on their driveway. No joke, it's beautiful. And every day it's a theme. So he's done a plane where and then he lays next to it like he's a character in action. I'm absolutely
loving it. Have to drive over and check this out.
It's incredible. And every day it changes. He's done a surfboard on a wave. Today he was walking the dogs, and it was like 4 dogs he drew with him in a leash, and he's holding it. I mean,
that's cute.
There's some parents that are doing some really creative things by just making their kids turn off the gadgets too, which is, it's a discipline, because you can almost fall back on that when you're working and you have to work and you need your children to be occupied. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I've seen some really creative things. Oh, there's your cutie. I can hear your cutie.
Oh yeah, he was naked in yesterday's video.
Oh my gosh. The stories that come from children this age are unbelievable. We went to a timeshare meeting once. I'm sure some couples have done that for a free trip, maybe. Oh yeah,
Jade has a timeshare, I think.
Oh, we don't have a timeshare, but we went to the meeting. We did that meeting, and Joseph was, I think, 2 at the time. and they really keep you in that meeting for a long time. And
Oh, yeah.
I'm like so nice that I just want to be curious and learn. So I'm doing that. My husband's having an anxiety attack because he thinks I'm going to drop some money on a timeshare and he doesn't want to do it. And I'm just being nice to the woman. And
Right.
it went so long that our son literally took off his diaper, literally, yeah, threw it over this very conservative woman's head in this like cubicle spot we were in. And the look on her face, she was so disgusted. She was just absolutely horrified. And I will never forget it because Brian thought it was classic.
Yeah,
and
you're like, thank you, bye.
He's like, I'm sorry, this meeting is done. We have to go. And Brian to this day thanks Joseph. He has no idea. And I'm the whole time just going, I cannot believe my child took off his diaper and threw it over a woman's head. Thank God it was not like filthy. That would have been really bad.
That's amazing.
So your kids, that's what I'm saying. The kids are a gift. They're crazy. They can go nuts in this situation, but boy, do they bring you back to just, grounded.
Right.
Which
And
is
reality. And that's what it's about is, like what's important during these times. I mean, there are minutes, I'm happy and content, I would say, to say that I'm not worried about the business. When this first started, I think that I was like a lot of people, and you're sort of hit in the face.
Oh gosh.
And I was concerned for a very brief amount of time. And I was like, you know what, everything happens for a reason and we'll figure it out. And we've had slow times. I mean, this is our 14-year anniversary and things have not been sunshine and roses 24/7. So we got through it and we'll get through this and it'll be okay.
For sure.
But it's definitely day by day mental health.
There's so many essential businesses though that are getting ahead of it and they're doing things in the workplace to make people feel safe that are just mind blowing. Like on the national winners call that I had last week, it was electrostatic, cleansing daily, training managers to have Clorox fogging machines. I mean, temperature taking before people come into work. All these things are really proactive things that are going to be happening. And it's so different. I mean, but what's fascinating is because of what we're living through, how we're all feeling, I think people will embrace it. People are just whatever it takes to open the doors and get back to life and get back to, it's not going to be normal, that's for sure. But I think people are willing to embrace a new normal just to get out of their house and support each other and see people. And the a third of people are really suffering right now. Yeah. Really, truly could get into depression. And because this doesn't cut it, right? So I think we really do need to think of a way that we can maneuver through this going forward and have compassion. I don't know. That's what I love. Like I said, the humanity and compassion that you're seeing from everybody openly. Yeah. I love that. It's such a
baby steps,
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, presence is more important than being present.
I know. I like it. I'm going to have to write that down. You're going to have to message it to me so I can put it on our talks.
Well, because presence, if you look at it reminds you, even if you're angry, let's say you're losing it, you have your patience, you're about to yell at somebody or scream or lose your I mean, it happens. People are losing it right now. They're kind of afraid on the ends at home. And I think you got to just, if you said that to yourself, presence is more important than just being present. Okay, I'm not just here. Is my mind meeting my body, meeting my soul, my spirit? Am I 100% focused on this moment? And did I present myself in a way that I want to be remembered? Yeah. Yes. And then maybe learning to count backwards, because 30 days, honey, we got 30 more. Well, that's not even a guarantee right now. So yeah, we'll see. But it's so nice to see you and happy Friday and happy anniversary. Thank you very much. Thank you to everybody that tuned in and listened to our banter, and hopefully you can relate and commiserate with us. And we did it without alcohol, Jordan. I know. We did it with water. Good job. See, mine's coffee. Well, it's bubbly water. I don't know if that it really counts like straight from the tap, but it's my kind of water. But anyway, and I'm still energized, and we're going to have a great day. We're going to have a great weekend. Awesome. So, mwah! I love you. Thank you. Enjoy. Go kiss that baby for me. I will. I'll see you later. Bye, hon. Bye. Bye, everybody.